Look at my beautiful Kirby shirt. Let's drop my laptop. Hey, how's it going, everybody? My name is SockBot, and today I'm sorry for the weird lighting and the weird angle, but you're not going to be seeing much of me anyway, so not that sorry. Today, I am finally going to be talking about the first 5 user-created levels in Dreams that I would recommend playing because I thought they were fantastic, and because I played so many of them that I need to rant about how great these were. And today is not going to be a top 5 or anything like that. It is just the first 5 that I consider really good, and more importantly, really interesting. So obviously there are levels that are better made than these, there are levels that are maybe more fun to play than these, but this is just my opinion, and it is just 5 of the very many that I had to narrow down to it. But in no particular order, we're going to start off with number 1. If I look down, it's because I have notes here, and that is Shifting Islands by Slurm Mackenzie. Excuse me if I pronounced that incorrectly, but this, I know I said they weren't in any particular order, but this might be my favorite. I think it was just an absolutely wonderful level. So this is a platformer, and it is a single level as far as I could tell, but there may be more than one, and I really hope there is more than one, because I would definitely be excited to play it. But this is a platformer, and it uses some interesting mechanics, and the main mechanic is that when you jump, different platforms will change. So basically when you jump, it's between blue and orange platforms. Jumping once will make the blue ones appear and the orange ones disappear. Jumping again will make the orange ones appear and the blue ones disappear. But that gimmick, that combined with a double jump, which is the main power of your character, just makes it very interesting. And in the background, you're going to see me failing multiple times in trying to do well at this level, but it made the level really, really fun, and more importantly, the aesthetic of this level is fantastic. So gameplay-wise, really cool gimmick. Aesthetic-wise, it's gorgeous, and more importantly, it's really, really cute. The main character you play as is adorable, and it made me smile the whole time, and plus, at 3 different points in the level, you can use the collectibles within the level to buy something with them, which is super cool, and it's just an aesthetic thing. It's a hat, like a skin change, or a fuzz change, I guess, because it's not really changing his skin, it's changing the fuzz, and then a pair of glasses. And I love the idea of taking the collectibles and giving you like a reason to collect them. It'd be even cooler if there was like an extra interesting skin or glasses or something to reward when you got all 3 of them, but I imagine that there was going to be more levels than just this one. But like I said, it was incredible. I loved it. It was very, very cute. It was super well polished. It was super well made in the sense that everything felt well put together. There were no glitches that I found, except for, I don't really know if it was a glitch, but there was this one point where I was trying to jump and, well, it wouldn't let me jump. It just kept falling off. And I fixed that just by, jumping earlier, and I'm not sure it was the creator's fault at all. It may have just been mine, but yes, this was definitely one of my favorite levels that I played so far. So, moving on to the second one, so I'm not sure what the full name of this is, and I may be incorrect, but I saw PH main level, and that there is more than one part of this. I believe the start screen or the intro is a different level. I think it's just PH intro, but this is by Octramon. I'm not sure if I'm just saying these names because I know it'll be embarrassing and hopefully interesting to you, but this one, oh my gosh, this was incredible. So I mentioned in my previous video how there were a lot of these survival horror games within Dreams, which I was surprised about, given that it's like, it's, coming from a family-friendly place with Media Molecule having made Little Big Planet, but it was a pretty big category for just being the beta and then the first few days of the early access, or a few hours at the point that I was starting to play these. And this one is absolutely incredible. So it's a third-person survival horror. I don't know if it's really survival because you don't really fight anything. I guess it would just be regular horror at this point, but it is a one-shot, as at least for right now. I think that there's a possibility they'll make it into a bigger game, but it's very cool. It was very scary. It scared the crap out of me a few times on stream, but unfortunately I still don't know how to turn my mic on for that. Actually, I do now. I didn't then, but I do now. So you couldn't hear me screaming, but this is the second playthrough, so excuse me if I'm rushing through it. I just wanted to make sure I got a good playthrough so you could see the level without it being in regular crappy stream quality. But yes, the gameplay was wonderful. It was not glitchy at all. The camera was a little awkward, but I think I don't think that it would need to be changed for like a full game release based on this, because cameras are always a little bit awkward when you're trying to move the camera into a place where there's a wall. And honestly, it never glitched out to the extent that I had to restart the level or anything like that. And I was always able to fix it within a second. So I really wouldn't knock the creator for that either. But it is absolutely fantastic. The environment's incredible. It's super freaky and creepy. And it plays a lot like a Silent Hill game or like a Resident Evil game, where you're trying to get to the end, and like you basically know what door you have to go through to get to the end or get to the next section. But in the meantime, you have to read different clues and try to find which door to go into. And now that you have the fire axe, what different doors open up after you retrieve that item. And it does play like a fantastic survival horror game. Super creepy, great environments, really interesting visuals, great audio. The thing that's kind of chasing you throughout it is terrifying, but yeah, it was great. It was just really, really good. I loved it. So moving on to number 3, again, no particular order. This is Area 1 by Drunken Fist Lee, and I'm pretty sure there is a full name for this game, but again, I don't know what it is because this was just the label of the individual level. But this was a series, and I think that there is more. So there's 2 areas that are currently available as far as I can tell, and it is a side-scrolling, it's like kind of 2D. I don't know what I would call it. I would call it like a side-scrolling adventure slash platformer, although there wasn't a lot of platforming in it. There was a little bit at the beginning, but it's pretty short. So it's a quick play, and it's really, really fun. And more importantly, it's really, really funny, and it's entirely voice acted. Almost all of the text that you would see in the game is replaced by voice acting, and the voice acting is hilarious. It's very good, surprisingly, for what I would imagine is an amateur voice actor, and I'm assuming it's acted by the same person, but maybe I'm wrong. It's just very well done. It's funny. I actually laughed out loud a few times, and I love the idea of the branching paths that it does. So it's 2D, but the backgrounds are 3D. And when you get to a branch in a path, you can take that branch by holding R1, and the controller vibrates as you're approaching a change in path so you don't miss anything, which is a really great idea. And when you take that branching path, you just hold R1, you'll walk along that path, and the controls change perfectly. There's no awkwardness between the 2 paths, and it's just very well done. It works great. I'm really excited for it to turn into a full thing. The cutscenes are very funny and very silly, and it's just good. It's not too silly, but it doesn't take itself too seriously. It's very pretty and funny. The character model is a little bit basic, but it's not like it's enough for what the level is trying to accomplish, and it's just really fun and really funny and very charming. So highly recommend. Moving on to number 4, and this, I actually debated talking about this first. And this is another one that this is why I don't have it in any order, because I would say these are all my favorite. But this one's called Marvelous by Sarge US account. Sarge's account. I don't know. It looks like Sarge US, but regardless, it is, I believe, a recreation. Not a recreation. I think it's like a tribute to Marble Blast, if you've ever played that game. Or maybe Marble Blast Ultra was the first one. I don't remember. But I played a bunch of those games, actually, when I was in like middle school, which was quite a while ago, but it was very, very fun. I used to play this game every morning because in homeroom they had, like, my homeroom teacher was great, so she had this one of the computers in the room set up to play this game, and she would look the other way as we played it for the first 10 minutes of homeroom, and me and my friend Kyle would always fight over playing it, so it was super, super fun, and we would get further and further each day, and when one of us wasn't there for homeroom, I remember that we'd come back and be like, oh damn, you beat that level that we were struggling so hard with. Awesome. So it was a super hard game, but a really, really fun game. And this, I believe, is a callback to that, but only a callback because it is incredibly unique. The levels that they created with this, basically rolling the marble around and jumping, is incredible. So for the first level, which was the only one I played before I started thinking about this, and then when I went to replay it for footage here, I actually played the second level too, which is actually significantly harder than the first. But playing through the first one, it was very, very fun. The biggest thing I noticed about this level is the controls are perfect. It is by far the best controlling level that I played in any of these. I think Shifting Islands was very, very close because it controlled perfectly, but this one was like perfectly, and it just felt better. The flow was great, and the entire level is, again, it's like weirdly similar to survival horror where you're in this one area, you know where you have to go, but there's like more platforms appear as opposed to you opening more doors. It's like one area that you go around, somewhat like Mario 64, I guess. It's hard to relate it, but you go around this area, you try to find various things which will help you get closer and closer to reaching the exit. So for example, in this one, you have to hit a switch. Once you hit that switch, it opens up a platform. When you go across that platform to the new accessible area, you'll then get a power-up, which is this glow thing. Very, very cool. And that power-up actually plays into the next section. So the power-up can activate switches in this first section. But in the second section, the second level that I played, the power-up will allow you to light up the darkness, which is really, really cool. And it doesn't feel punishing, and it doesn't feel like annoying that everything's dark, which is a huge issue with a lot of weirdly enough survival horror games where things are just too dark, and it's like supposed to be a gimmick and supposed to make the level more interesting and different, but in other cases it just doesn't work. It's just dark and hard to see and annoying. In this one it does work, especially with the power up, and so it's just, I just want to not spend too much time on this because I want you to go play it, but the biggest thing is the controls are perfect. It feels great. Playing through the platforms, which are decently tough, it never feels like it was the game's fault. It always feels like it's my fault when I would fall, which is one of the biggest compliments I can give to a platformer or a puzzle platformer like this. So last one, and this one I had to include. I was debating talking more about another, gameplay centric one, or story centric, or comedy centric, like I've talked about so far, but I had to put this one in here, and it kind of breaks my rule for this, which was not including anything directly from Media Molecule, but this one's technically just by an independent Media Moleculer who, well, I'm assuming so, but it was by MMP Field, and it's called Panispot, which, well, I'm not going to say what that sounds like to me, but I believe that is a very normal phrase in British English, because the voiceover is in British English. And the basis for this level is I think it's someone officially from Media Molecule. It could just be someone with that name. But they recorded themselves asking questions as their daughter or son, I think it was daughter, their very young daughter told a story about a pea that wanted to get in the pot to be cooked. And it's such a cute story. And the whole time I was just sitting there with a huge smile on my face, both times I played through this. And it was just really, really cute. And everything follows what the dad is saying, or what the daughter is saying, and the dad keeps asking questions to kind of keep the story going, but it's mostly this little girl narrating it, and it's just so cute. And the level itself is just very, very well done. Super short, but it's completely worth a playthrough just for the adorable story. And like I said, it's very well done, very cute, highly recommend. And I tried to keep this list a little bit diverse for the first one, so we'll be moving on. I have a bunch of other ones to talk about, and I'm going to talk about them in a future video, but it actually takes a very long time to go back through these, find the ones that I want to talk about, and then re-record them all so they're full things. So just 5 for today, but hopefully you could go play those. Like I said, these are more like the first 5 I would recommend playing, but definitely go ahead and jump in DreamSurf for a while, and maybe some that you guys recommend in the comments down below will be included in next part, so feel free to recommend any levels that you found that are incredible. I may already have them written down, but it's okay. I would love more recommendations for things to play, and hopefully we can keep recommending and playing all the great levels that are out so far. I'm sorry if all of these were available in the beta, but I did not play them then, so this is why I'm talking about them now. And also, not everybody was in the beta, but now that there are so many people in early access, go play. Sorry I'm talking so fast, but this is already a 14-minute video, and I want to be done because I don't want people to get tired of watching. So have a great day. Thank you guys for watching. Like if you want to, subscribe if you want to, but no pressure as always. I will touch you guys in the next video. Have a wonderful day. Whew. You can tell I'm high energy today because I am excited about the levels. I was actually super dead before this because it's pouring outside, which I really hope is not picking up in the audio, but if it is, I'm sorry. Have a wonderful day. Bye, everyone.